Question 1. A Scrum team has just completed their sprint review, and now they are preparing for the sprint retrospective. Which of the following is the primary purpose of the sprint retrospective? A. To inspect the increment and adapt the product backlog if needed. B. To discuss what went well, what could be improved, and create a plan for improvements for the next sprint. C. To forecast the work that can be done in the sprint and create a sprint backlog. D. To synchronize activities, create a plan for the next 24 hours, and inspect progress toward the sprint goal. Answer: B. To discuss what went well, what could be improved, and create a plan for improvements for the next sprint. The sprint retrospective is a key Scrum event focused on continuous improvement, where the Scrum team inspects itself regarding people, relationships, processes, and tools. Its primary purpose is to identify what went well during the past sprint, what challenges were encountered, and collaboratively create actionable improvements to enhance effectiveness for the upcoming sprint. This dedicated time for reflection helps the team adapt and evolve, embodying the Agile principle of regular adaptation. For instance, if daily scrums were running too long, the team might decide to set a stricter time box for the next sprint. Always remember, the retrospective is about improving how the team works, not what they work on. Question 2. A PMP candidate is studying various Agile frameworks. Which Agile principle emphasizes delivering valuable software frequently, from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, with a preference for the shorter timescale? A. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. B. Simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done, is essential. C. Our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. D. Deliver working software frequently, from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, with a preference to the shorter timescale. Answer: D. Deliver working software frequently, from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, with a preference to the shorter timescale. This question directly quotes one of the 12 principles behind the Agile Manifesto, specifically focusing on the frequency of delivery. The principle emphasizes that Agile projects aim to provide value to the customer quickly and consistently by releasing usable increments of software often, rather than waiting for a large, single release at the end. This allows for early feedback and course correction, reducing risk and ensuring the product remains relevant to customer needs. For example, instead of delivering a full banking app in 12 months, an Agile team might deliver basic login in 2 weeks, then account viewing in 4 weeks, and so on. This principle highlights the importance of timely value delivery and rapid iteration. Question 3. During a sprint, a development team realizes that an initially estimated user story is more complex than anticipated and cannot be completed within the current sprint without compromising quality or the sprint goal. What should the development team do? A. Add more team members to the sprint to accelerate completion. B. Extend the sprint duration to accommodate the increased complexity. C. Negotiate with the product owner to decale or remove the user story from the current sprint. D. Work overtime to ensure the user story is completed by the end of the sprint. Answer: C. Negotiate with the product owner to decale or remove the user story from the current sprint. When a development team encounters an unforeseen complexity that jeopardizes the sprint goal, the most appropriate Agile response is to collaborate transparently with the product owner. The product owner is responsible for maximizing the value of the product and managing the product backlog, making them the ideal person to discuss scope adjustments for the current sprint. Rather than compromising quality or team well-being by forcing completion, the team should inform the product owner, who can then decide whether to decope the story, move it to a future sprint, or reprioritize other work. This approach aligns with the Scrum values of transparency and respect, ensuring realistic expectations and maintaining sustainable pace. Question 4. A new product owner is struggling with managing the product backlog. Which of the following activities is primarily the responsibility of the product owner regarding the product backlog? A. Ensuring that the product backlog items are properly sized for sprint planning. B. Ordering the items in the product backlog to best achieve goals and missions. C. Facilitating the daily Scrum to synchronize the development team's work. D. Protecting the development team from external interruptions and distractions. Answer: B. Ordering the items in the product backlog to best achieve goals and missions. The product owner is singularly accountable for maximizing the value of the product resulting from the work of the development team, and this includes the effective management of the product backlog. Their primary responsibility is to ensure the product backlog is ordered in a way that optimizes the delivery of value, reflects business priorities, and aligns with the product vision. This involves continuous refinement, ensuring items are clear, concise, and understood by the team. For example, a product owner might prioritize a user login feature over a complex reporting feature if the login is critical for early user adoption. Understanding the product owner's core accountability for backlog ordering is crucial for Agile success. Question 5. In an Agile project, the team identifies a potential risk where a critical third-party API might not be ready on time. How should this risk typically be handled in an Agile context? A. Document the risk in a comprehensive risk register and review it quarterly with the project sponsor. B. Create a detailed mitigation plan and allocate a dedicated budget for risk response in the next release. C. Discuss the risk during the daily Scrum, prioritize it for immediate investigation, and potentially create a spike to explore alternatives. D. Defer the risk discussion until the sprint retrospective, as it is a process improvement topic. Answer: C. Discuss the risk during the daily Scrum, prioritize it for immediate investigation, and potentially create a spike to explore alternatives. In Agile, risk management is often integrated into daily activities and focuses on quick identification and transparent discussion. When a team identifies a significant risk like a critical API delay, the daily Scrum provides an immediate forum to bring it to the team's attention. This allows for quick prioritization of investigation, and if necessary, the team might decide to create a spike, a time-boxed research or exploration activity, in the current or next sprint to understand the problem better and explore potential solutions or alternatives. This continuous, iterative approach to risk management allows for proactive adaptation rather than reactive crisis management. Remember, Agile teams embrace change and respond to risks collaboratively and quickly. Question 6. A team is starting a new Agile project. Which of the following is an example of an adaptive planning technique commonly used in Agile projects? A. Creating a detailed project plan with fixed scope, budget, and schedule upfront for the entire project duration. B. Developing a comprehensive work breakdown structure, WBS, for all deliverables at the beginning of the project. C. Using rolling wave planning where detailed planning occurs for the near term, while future work is planned at a high level. D. Establishing a strict change control board, CCB, to manage all scope changes throughout the project lifecycle. Answer: C. Using rolling wave planning where detailed planning occurs for the near term, while future work is planned at a high level. Adaptive planning is a cornerstone of Agile methodologies, emphasizing flexibility and responsiveness to change over rigid upfront planning. Rolling wave planning perfectly exemplifies this by detailing work only for the immediate future, e.g., the next few sprints, and keeping later sprints or phases at a high, less defined level. As the project progresses and more information becomes available, the wave rolls forward, allowing for more detailed planning of the upcoming work while adapting to new insights and feedback. This contrasts with traditional, predictive planning that attempts to define the entire project upfront, which is less effective in environments with high uncertainty. It's like planning your next few steps in detail, but only generally knowing your ultimate destination. Question 7. A PMP certified project manager is coaching a Scrum master who is struggling to empower their development team. Which approach best aligns with the Scrum master's role in fostering a self-organizing team? A. Assigning tasks to individual team members to ensure efficient workflow. B. Making decisions on behalf of the team to resolve impediments quickly. C. Facilitating team discussions and removing impediments while allowing the team to determine how to do their work. D. Directing the team to follow specific coding standards and technical practices. Answer: C. Facilitating team discussions and removing impediments while allowing the team to determine how to do their work. The Scrum Master acts as a servant leader and coach, not a manager who dictates tasks or makes decisions for the team. Their primary role in fostering a self-organizing team is to facilitate effective collaboration, ensure Scrum principles are followed, and proactively remove any impediments that hinder the team's progress. By allowing the team to collectively decide how to best achieve their sprint goal and complete their work, the Scrum Master empowers them to take ownership, innovate, and continuously improve their processes. This builds a strong, autonomous team capable of solving its own challenges, which is a hallmark of Agile methodologies. Think of the Scrum Master as a facilitator who clears the path, not a boss who directs the journey. Question 8. In an Agile project, the team is struggling with frequent changes to the sprint backlog items mid-sprint, which is disrupting their ability to deliver value. Who is primarily accountable for protecting the sprint goal and the development team from these external interruptions? A. The project manager. B. The product owner. C. The Scrum Master. D. The quality assurance lead. Answer: C. The Scrum Master. The Scrum Master serves the Scrum team in several ways, including coaching them in self-management and cross-functionality, and removing impediments to their progress. A critical part of this role involves protecting the development team from external interruptions and ensuring the sprint goal remains intact once committed to. While the product owner manages the product backlog, it is the Scrum Master who often acts as a shield, educating stakeholders on Agile principles and helping them understand the impact of mid-sprint changes. For instance, if a stakeholder tries to add a new high-priority item mid-sprint, the Scrum Master would explain why this disrupts flow and guide them to add it to the product backlog for future sprints. Question 9. A PMP exam candidate needs to understand Agile metrics. Which of the following Agile metrics provides a visual representation of the work remaining versus the time left in a sprint or project? A. Velocity chart. B. Burn-down chart. C. Cumulative flow diagram. D. Cycle time. Answer: B. Burn-down chart. A burn-down chart is a widely used Agile metric that visually tracks the progress of a sprint or project by showing the amount of work remaining, often in story points or hours, against the time left. As the team completes tasks, the work remaining line should trend downwards, indicating progress towards completion. This chart provides a simple, immediate way for the team and stakeholders to see if the project or sprint is on track to meet its goal, allowing for early detection of potential issues. For example, if the line is not trending down as expected, the team might need to adjust. It's a quick visual pulse check on how much work is left and whether it will be done on time. Question 10. During a sprint review, the stakeholders express dissatisfaction with some aspects of the increment, and new ideas emerge that could significantly improve the product. What is the most appropriate action for the product owner at this point? A. Reject the new ideas as the sprint is already concluded and focus only on the current increment. B. Incorporate all stakeholder feedback and new ideas directly into the current increment before the sprint ends. C. Update the product backlog based on the feedback and new ideas, then reprioritize items for future sprints. D. Schedule a separate meeting with individual stakeholders to discuss their concerns offline. Answer: C. Update the product backlog based on the feedback and new ideas, then reprioritize items for future sprints. The sprint review is a crucial event for inspecting the increment and adapting the product backlog based on feedback and collaboration with stakeholders. The product owner's role is to capture all new ideas, suggestions, and feedback, integrate them into the product backlog, and then reprioritize the backlog to ensure the most valuable items are worked on next. This iterative feedback loop is fundamental to Agile, allowing the product to continuously evolve and meet changing customer needs. It's vital to remember that the sprint review is an input to future planning, not an opportunity to change the completed increment. Question 11. An Agile team is performing story point estimation for their product backlog items. Which of the following best describes the concept of story points? A. A measure of the ideal hours it will take to complete a user story. B. A relative measure of the effort, complexity, and uncertainty involved in implementing a user story. C. A precise unit of time used to track the team's progress against a fixed schedule. D. A financial value assigned to each user story for budget allocation. Answer: B. A relative measure of the effort, complexity, and uncertainty involved in implementing a user story. Story points are an Agile estimation unit used to assign a numerical value to the size of a user story, reflecting not just the raw effort but also its complexity and inherent uncertainty. Unlike traditional time-based estimates, story points are relative, meaning a story estimated at 8 points is generally considered twice as large as a story estimated at 4 points, without specifying exact hours or days. This abstraction helps teams focus on relative sizing and reduces the pressure of precise time commitments, making it more flexible and often more accurate for predicting future work. For example, a simple login might be 3 points, while a complex integration could be 13 points. It's about how big is it compared to other things, not how long will it take. Question 12. A Scrum Master notices that the development team often struggles with understanding the requirements for product backlog items during sprint planning. Which of the following activities should the Scrum Master encourage to address this issue? A. Insist on a formal sign-off for all requirements before sprint planning. B. Advocate for more frequent product backlog refinement sessions. C. Request the product owner to write more detailed and extensive documentation. D. Advise the team to start coding immediately to gain clarity through implementation. Answer: B. Advocate for more frequent product backlog refinement sessions. Product backlog refinement, also known as backlog grooming, is a continuous activity where the product owner and the development team collaborate to add detail, estimates, and order to product backlog items. If the team consistently struggles with understanding requirements during sprint planning, it indicates insufficient refinement has occurred. Encouraging more frequent and effective refinement sessions ensures that items targeted for upcoming sprints are sufficiently clear, understood, and estimated, reducing ambiguity and improving planning accuracy. This proactive approach helps the team confidently pull items into a sprint. Question 13. A project team is transitioning from a traditional waterfall approach to an Agile methodology. Management is concerned about maintaining control and visibility. Which Agile approach would address this concern by emphasizing defined roles, stages, and products, while retaining an Agile philosophy? A. Scrum. B. Kanban. C. Lean software development. D. Agile PM, DSDM. Answer: D. Agile PM, DSDM. While Scrum provides structure, Agile PM, based on the DSDM, Dynamic Systems Development Method, framework, is particularly well suited for organizations transitioning from traditional approaches because it offers a more comprehensive governance framework. Agile PM emphasizes defined roles, structured processes, and specific products, like a project increment review or a business case, that resonate with traditional project management sensibilities, while still adhering to Agile principles like iterative development and continuous stakeholder involvement. This balance provides the necessary control and visibility that management might be accustomed to, making the transition smoother than with less prescriptive Agile frameworks. Question 14. An Agile team is experiencing issues with quality and accumulating technical debt. What is the most appropriate Agile principle or practice to emphasize to address these concerns? A. Continuous integration. B. Working software over comprehensive documentation. C. Sustainable pace. D. Regular adaptation to changing circumstances. Answer: A. Continuous integration. Continuous integration, CI, is a foundational engineering practice in Agile that significantly helps in addressing quality issues and preventing the accumulation of technical debt. It involves developers integrating their code changes frequently, several times a day, into a shared repository, with each integration verified by an automated build and test. This practice helps to detect integration errors early, reduce complexity, and maintain a consistently working codebase. By integrating small, frequent changes, the team can quickly identify and fix defects, thereby improving overall quality and preventing the snowball effect of technical debt. It's about catching problems early, before they become big, expensive issues. Question 15. A new PMP certification candidate is learning about different Agile roles. Which role is primarily responsible for ensuring that the Scrum framework is understood and enacted by the team, and acts as a servant leader? A. Project Manager. B. Product Owner. C. Scrum Master. D. Development Team Member. Answer: C. Scrum Master. The Scrum Master is the servant leader for the Scrum team and the larger organization, responsible for promoting and supporting Scrum as defined in the Scrum Guide. Their key accountability includes ensuring the Scrum framework is understood and followed, coaching the team in self-organization and cross-functionality, and removing impediments. Unlike a traditional project manager, the Scrum Master does not manage people or direct tasks. Instead, they serve the team by helping them optimize their processes and collaboration, ensuring a productive and effective Scrum environment. They are the guardians of the Scrum process, helping everyone play by the rules for optimal results. Question 16. In an Agile context, what is the primary purpose of a spike? A. To create a detailed architectural design for a future release. B. To conduct a short, time-boxed research or exploratory activity to gain knowledge or resolve uncertainty. C. To fix a critical bug identified in the previous sprint. D. To review and refine product backlog items with stakeholders. Answer: B. To conduct a short, time-boxed research or exploratory activity to gain knowledge or resolve uncertainty. A spike is a concept commonly used in Agile, particularly in extreme programming, XP, and Scrum, to denote a short, time-boxed technical or investigative task. Its primary purpose is to explore a technical challenge, research an unknown technology, or resolve a significant uncertainty before committing to full development. For example, if a team needs to integrate with a new payment gateway, they might schedule a spike to understand its API and feasibility. By dedicating a small amount of time to gaining knowledge, teams can reduce risk and make more informed decisions about future development work, preventing larger issues down the line. Question 17. A PMP aspirant is reviewing the Agile Manifesto. Which of the following pairs represents a core value emphasized by the Agile Manifesto? A. Processes and tools over individuals and interactions. B. Comprehensive documentation over working software. C. Following a plan over responding to change. D. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Answer: D. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. The Agile Manifesto articulates 4 core values that prioritize agility and responsiveness over rigid, traditional approaches. One of these fundamental values is customer collaboration over contract negotiation. This means that while contracts are necessary, actively engaging with the customer, understanding their evolving needs, and collaborating closely with them to deliver value is considered more important than strictly adhering to predefined, often inflexible contractual terms. This continuous dialogue helps ensure the product truly meets customer expectations. For instance, instead of rigidly sticking to original specifications, the team frequently seeks customer input to refine the product. Question 18. An Agile team is consistently struggling to complete their sprint goal. During the sprint retrospective, the team identifies that new requirements are frequently being introduced by stakeholders directly to the development team during the sprint. What is the most appropriate action to address this issue? A. The development team should politely refuse to accept new requirements mid-sprint. B. The product owner should educate stakeholders on the process for submitting new requests through the product backlog. C. The Scrum Master should implement a stricter change control process to prevent new requirements. D. The team should extend the sprint length to accommodate the additional work. Answer: B. The product owner should educate stakeholders on the process for submitting new requests through the product backlog. The product owner is accountable for managing the product backlog and acting as the primary interface between stakeholders and the development team regarding requirements. If new requirements are directly disrupting the team mid-sprint, it indicates a breakdown in how changes are introduced and managed. The most effective solution is for the product owner to proactively educate stakeholders on the proper Agile flow, emphasizing that all new requests should go into the product backlog, be prioritized, and then considered for future sprints. This ensures that the sprint goal remains stable and the development team can focus on delivering committed work without distraction. Question 19. A development team is self-organizing and cross-functional. What does cross-functional primarily mean in an Agile context? A. Each team member can perform all tasks, regardless of their specialization. B. The team contains all the necessary skills to deliver an increment without relying on outside specialists. C. Team members are interchangeable, meaning any member can be replaced without impact. D. The team works across different departments within the organization. Answer: B. The team contains all the necessary skills to deliver an increment without relying on outside specialists. In an Agile context, a cross-functional development team signifies that the team possesses all the diverse skills and expertise required to complete the work necessary to produce a valuable, releasable increment without depending on external personnel. This includes skills like analysis, design, coding, testing, and deployment. While individual members may have specialties, the team as a whole can tackle various aspects of the work collaboratively. This self-sufficiency minimizes handoffs, reduces delays, and fosters collective ownership of the product. It means the team has all the pieces of the puzzle needed to build the solution internally. Question 20. A product owner is preparing for the next sprint planning meeting. What is the product owner's primary responsibility in this meeting? A. To ensure that the team commits to a realistic amount of work based on their historical velocity. B. To present the prioritized product backlog items and clarify their value and requirements. C. To facilitate the meeting, ensuring it stays within the time box and resolves impediments. D. To break down the selected product backlog items into smaller, actionable tasks for the team. Answer: B. To present the prioritized product backlog items and clarify their value and requirements. During sprint planning, the product owner's core responsibility is to articulate the product backlog items they wish the team to consider for the upcoming sprint. This involves explaining the business value of each item, clarifying its requirements, and answering any questions the development team has to ensure they fully understand what needs to be built and why. The product owner helps the team understand what to build, enabling them to then determine how they will build it and how much they can accomplish. This clear communication is vital for the team to confidently select and commit to a sprint goal. Question 21. What is the main purpose of the daily Scrum in an Agile project using Scrum? A. To report progress to the project manager and stakeholders. B. To inspect progress toward the sprint goal and adapt the sprint backlog as necessary. C. To conduct detailed problem-solving sessions and resolve technical impediments. D. To assign tasks to individual team members for the day. Answer: B. To inspect progress toward the sprint goal and adapt the sprint backlog as necessary. The daily Scrum or daily stand-up is a 15-minute time-boxed event for the development team to synchronize activities and create a plan for the next 24 hours. Its primary purpose is for the team to inspect their progress toward the sprint goal, identify any impediments, and make necessary adaptations to the sprint backlog to ensure they remain on track. It's a quick, internal meeting for the team to coordinate, not a status report to management or a problem-solving session. By discussing, what did I do yesterday that helped the development team, what will I do today, and any impediments, the team self-organizes and maintains focus. Question 22. A PMP candidate encounters a question about the purpose of continuous integration. Which of the following best describes its primary benefit in an agile environment? A. To reduce the need for testing by catching bugs early. B. To allow individual developers to work in isolation for extended periods without impacting others. C. To detect integration errors early and ensure a continually shippable product increment. D. To document all code changes for audit and compliance purposes. Answer: C. To detect integration errors early and ensure a continually shippable product increment. Continuous integration, CI, is a crucial agile engineering practice where developers integrate their code frequently into a shared main branch, often multiple times a day. Each integration is immediately verified by an automated build and automated tests. The primary benefit of CI is to quickly detect and address integration issues or bugs that arise when different code components are combined, preventing them from accumulating into larger, harder-to-fix problems. This practice ensures that the codebase remains in a healthy, working state, facilitating the creation of a potentially shippable increment at any given time. It's like having a constant health check for the entire codebase. Question 23. An agile team is using Kanban to manage their workflow. What is the primary purpose of limiting work in progress, WIP, in a Kanban system? A. To ensure that team members are always busy and utilized to their maximum capacity. B. To reduce multitasking, expose bottlenecks, and improve flow efficiency. C. To strictly adhere to the sprint goal without scope changes. D. To create a fixed schedule for feature delivery. Answer: B. To reduce multitasking, expose bottlenecks, and improve flow efficiency. Limiting work in progress, WIP, is a core principle of Kanban and is crucial for improving flow and efficiency. By restricting the number of tasks being actively worked on at any given time, WIP limits force the team to focus on completing current tasks before starting new ones, thereby reducing multitasking and context switching. This practice naturally exposes bottlenecks in the workflow, as work will pile up before a constrained step, making it visible where improvements are needed. Ultimately, it optimizes the flow of value through the system, leading to faster delivery and better predictability. It's about stop starting, start finishing. Question 24. A team is using Scrum. During a sprint, a team member identifies a significant technical impediment that they cannot resolve on their own. What is the most appropriate next step for this team member? A. Wait until the daily Scrum to report the impediment to the Scrum Master. B. Inform the product owner immediately to see if the requirement can be changed. C. Immediately seek help from the Scrum Master to remove the impediment. D. Try to work around the impediment even if it means compromising quality. Answer: C. Immediately seek help from the Scrum Master to remove the impediment. The Scrum Master's role as a servant leader includes removing impediments that hinder the development team's progress. If a team member encounters a significant technical impediment they cannot resolve, the most appropriate and efficient action is to seek immediate help from the Scrum Master. Waiting until the daily Scrum or trying to work around the issue can cause unnecessary delays and potentially impact the sprint goal. The Scrum Master can then facilitate a solution, connect the team member with the right resources, or resolve the impediment directly. This proactive approach ensures flow and addresses issues swiftly, embodying the Agile principle of removing roadblocks. Question 25. Which of the following best describes the concept of a release train in scaled Agile frameworks? A. A single, fixed team responsible for delivering an entire product from start to finish. B. A collection of different products released together at the end of a long development cycle. C. Asynchronized, time-boxed cadence of multiple agile teams working together to deliver a larger solution. D. A traditional project management approach for managing large, complex programs. Answer: C. Asynchronized, time-boxed cadence of multiple agile teams working together to deliver a larger solution. In scaled agile frameworks, such as SAFe, Scaled Agile Framework, a release train refers to a group of agile teams that work together to deliver a common, larger solution. These teams are synchronized on a shared cadence, e.g., a program increment or PI, and aligned to a common vision, backlog, and architecture. The concept ensures that multiple interdependent teams can collaborate effectively, integrate their work, and deliver large-scale, complex solutions in a coordinated and predictable manner. It's like having multiple trains on parallel tracks, all heading towards the same destination, arriving together at scheduled stops.